Alright, time for another draftphysics.com, debatephysics.com also. But as is continuing, people just can't compose reasonable or rational counter-arguments to a single thing said. Just showing how pathetic I don't know, what do you call the people who watch science entertainment? They're clearly not much better than the people watching professional wrestling, frankly. They don't know what they don't know what anybody's even talking about. They haven't really researched anything. They're not really deep into these subjects at all. And that includes the physicists. It's all this superficial stuff, and all they want to do is talk about how unicorns are made. It's all woo and bullshit. So anyway, this guy starts off. So the last video I made was a pretty good video, just pointing out how, get real, the whole thing is kind of a moot point, isn't it? The best ballistic pendulum we can build can only collect 0.06% of the energy something has. So out of 2,000 joules, the best it can do is 2. That's the best it can collect, 2. That's really pathetic, just letting you know, right? So it's pretty pathetic that out of 2,000 joules, it can only put 2 of them into the ballistic pendulum. Fact, okay? It's just a fact that the only thing it can give to the ballistic pendulum is its momentum, so it gives almost all of its momentum to the ballistic pendulum, and it gives almost none of the kinetic energy. And yet we're supposed to believe this is a real story about a real substance. And it's just obviously not. All right. You can't convert 2,000 joules into momentum without making free momentum. So it's just kind of obvious that if it only has 2 units of momentum, and if it actually did put the 2,000 joules of energy into momentum of the ballistic pendulum, that is, the ballistic pendulum conserved 100% of the kinetic energy, then it would have thousands of times more momentum. Thousands. Okay. This claim makes 0 sense. Well, to you, because you're an idiot. I can't help you. I can't do thinking for you, okay? I just can't, it's not the way it works. I can't feel your pain, and I also can't feel your stupidity, and also can't treat your stupidity. Can't really do much for you. Sorry, you're dumb. All right. You just got done explaining that using particles to propel an object can move it. Yes, of course. I'm saying these joules of energy don't exist, okay? They're phantom. They're made up. Squaring the velocity is stupid because it doesn't happen. There is no squared velocity function. It doesn't make any squared velocity fuel. It doesn't happen. You don't understand that part of the argument? Then you say that the bullet with 2,000 joules, I'm obviously disputing whether it has 2,000 joules. I'm arguing that it has 2. Okay, that has the same momentum that the gun recoil has. Of kinetic energy can't collide with an object and propel it. The experimental evidence demonstrates it to be an absolute fact. NASA scientists will tell you, yeah, it doesn't matter. Throw something out of the ship with 2,000 joules out one side. Throw 2 joules out the other side. Of kinetic energy. But the same momentum. And all it's going to matter is the momentum. The joules don't matter. Your kinetic energy doesn't matter. It can't change anything. The ship is only going to know how much momentum did you give me. That's all it's going to ask. It's going to ask the question, how much momentum did you give me? And that's it. It can't see your fake energy. Okay. Then you say that the bullet with 2,000 joules of kinetic energy can't collide with an object and propel it. I'm saying it's the evidential fact. I didn't make the fact. The fact is the experimental fact. You want me to play Professor Lewin writing it on the board? 99.94% of the kinetic energy is lost. I'm not making the rules, jackass. That's the experimental results. Okay, then you say that somehow the bullet converts its momentum into more momentum. I said if it gave the ballistic pendulum any more than the 2 joules of energy, linear motion, if it gave it more than that, then it would be making free energy. It would be making free momentum. Well, I mean, you're really just too dumb. I.e. some baseless assertion It's not baseless at all. That would clearly break conservation because you just made it up. No, you just made up the existence of the fake joules that you can't collect. You can't collect it in space. You can't collect it with a ballistic pendulum. You can't collect it with a 5-mass cart going 10. You can't collect it with anything because it's phantom energy. Oh, you're just such pieces of crap. All right, you then switch to experiment to be... You then switch the experiment to the force returned or captured from the object instead of the velocity in the preceding direction. Yeah, I did the logical thing. I said, well, okay, we can't see the energy at launch. Okay, we're not going to get the equal and opposite reaction. So Newton's opposite reaction isn't going to exist in kinetic energy. In kinetic energy, there's no equal and opposite reaction. Absolute fact. The bullet leaves with 2,000 joules, the gun recoils with 2. Absolute fact. Not the same kinetic energy. So let's do it the other way around. Let's see if we can collect it. That was the whole point, you jackass. Alright, captured. That's your 99% energy loss figure. That is completely ridiculous to compare both those events. It's ridiculous to analyze how you gave something velocity, and then it's ridiculous to collect the velocity. Oh, I see. Okay. The rest of the video is word salad, laughing my ass off. Well, I hope you get what you fucking deserve, you hunk of shit. That's all I can say. Get what you deserve, you hunk of shit. Get what you've earned, ass wipe. Alright, what's the dude on? Where can I buy it? Blah, blah, blah. So, yes, we will in future just block these people without ever acknowledging the nonsense. We've seen enough of the nonsense. We're all done with nonsense. So we'll just say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Man, you got yourself confused between velocity and volts. No, I don't. It's a very good comparison, voltage and amperage, to correlate those to velocity and mass. The correlation is really strong. And again, you're just too fucking stupid to realize that. I mean, they use hose analogies. You know, water going through a hose is an analogy for electricity. And again, do you think that I just turn the nozzle on the hose and I can make free energy? Dumbass. Oh, these people are so obnoxious. Alright, so Superior Mind's complaining about the comments being blocked. Half my comments don't show up anywhere. Yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah, so YouTube sucks. I can't comment at all, so you should, they've blocked me from commenting at all. I mean, they've broken the thing just enough so I can't comment. I can see videos in a private window, but I can't watch them with my account on a page, and none of the rest of the page renders. It's just so retarded. Alright, anyway, that's another Superior Mind. You don't even need to see the source code. You can see the rules and concepts playing out in the simulation. Yes, it's quite obvious. So, look, the source code's going to be public. I'm just telling you, okay? The guy's done work on it for 3 years, something like that. And, this has been an ongoing project. It should be finished, okay? Let's, give us the chance to finish it, for fuck's sake. All right, but it is such simple rules. I'm just saying you're not going to be surprised. I mean, the source code isn't going to have something magical in it. It's going to just have the simple rules I outlined. Why would you need to look at the source code to figure out that such a simple concept is working right in front of your eye? I mean, you can draw it. I've drawn it. It's not that complicated, for fuck's sake. So Piro says, nonetheless, I would like to see the source code. I didn't realize it was public. Well, you never realize anything that's true. So every time you do this in comments, you think something, you get the guy's name wrong. You're just such an idiot. It's not public. The source code isn't public yet. It will be. Oh, you know where I can find it? Oh, God. He's such an asshole. I just hate his guts. Anyway. Dude, my wholehearted belief. Oh, so I should say that I will try to get to the comments on SciManDan's video, because at least he is getting some heat. All right, so people are saying, "Hey, you didn't debunk nothing. Hey, you ran away right there at the end, didn't you, pussy?" So he is getting a little pushback, which is good. So maybe I'll have the guts to actually deal with the actual argument and demonstrate his knowledge of the vis visa controversy and how it was decidedly, overwhelmingly proven with the experiment. The experiment. Oh, that's right, there isn't one! They never even measured 4 pounds dropping 1 foot or 1 pound dropping 4 feet. They never even did that experiment. Amazing. Not even on the moon. Dude, my wholehearted belief in modern interpretation of physics isn't faith-based. Says you. Okay? I don't think you know shit about what the fuck they're actually saying and talking about. Do you know what color is? Do you know what a photon's... Well, it's not even a photon, right? It's some sort of gluon's color. You know, how many parsecs of charge it has. Oh, it's so fucking bullshit. Because someone else made an unprovable theory with theoretical math. What does that even mean? You are a poop goy. You really are. Oh God, you know, the screen names just say, why am I even acknowledging the existence of these turds? Alright, get a textbook next time. Fuck you. Alright, rotational kinetic energy. So here's the big lie. Rotational kinetic energy? There's no such thing, okay? There's no such thing as rotational kinetic energy, and there's no such thing as linear kinetic energy. It's baby talk, okay? It's unprovable nonsense. You have no experimental evidence. Do you understand an obligation to make an argument that where you have experimental evidence? You don't have any. You have no evidence. It takes 25 times the fuel to spin something 5 times as fast. Shit for the brain. Alright, proportional to the square of the radius and the square of the rotational speed, i.e. So we know that if you just take the word kinetic energy out of there and you say rotational momentum, that is angular momentum, momentum works just fine. Okay, the square of the tangential velocity, which is perfectly consistent with energy scaling to the square of the velocity in any other type of motion. So it's absolute nonsense that there's any evidence anywhere on this earth that it takes 25 times the fuel to spin a motor 5 times as fast. So you're just talking shit. The same old shit. Talk shit, prove nothing. Alright, so Firo says, you can't think your theory is a fact like water is wet. Yeah, of course I can, but whatever. You should be able to imagine I really believe in KE. What does this have to do with anything? I don't care what you believe in. I care about what kind of argument you make. And you evade every single point made, and you will not establish any foundational axioms. So there's no point in talking to you, because there's no reality anywhere. Nothing's ever true. So there's just no point. I mean, if I said gravity's 9.8 meters per a unit of 1 second, you get 9.8 meters of velocity per 1 second of time you're free falling. I'm saying that's an absolute fact. It's demonstrated by how the damn thing works. Galileo said it, Newton said it. And there's absolutely no reason to doubt the truth of it, because it works perfectly. So what's your counter argument? Now you can speculate and say, well, that's fooling us because there's some sort of little green men inside of the objects and they're running flywheels and making more energy or something. You can make up some kind of fairy story, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with that theory in the sense that you can't debunk it because it's so consistent with the actual evidence. So until you have a counter theory that's better, you have nothing. It fits better. And obviously I'm pointing out how your theory doesn't fit at all. It violates the law of the lever. Like you say you do. So you have no interest in anything called a debate. You never deal with the subject. You're never on the subject. This is just such horse shit. I can't even believe you typed this mush. Ugh. 47 minutes to respond. He does 15 minutes or 15 or less. And what did he say in the video? Did he do any science or physics in his video? No, he didn't do any. Zero. Zip. Zilchironi. Yeah. So fuck you. Okay. I mean, what? It's just so idiotic. You either think there's a subject to be argued or you don't. So you think science should just be given a pass. They can just say anything they want to. It doesn't matter if Eddington says, I only got 10% of the data quality. It doesn't matter to you. It doesn't matter that de Chardonnay's silly experiment denting clay has no theoretical credibility. Nothing matters to you. You think it all should be fake, phony bullshit. It should also all just be a story people tell, just a propaganda, just a religion. You're just defending religion. Oh, Jesus. Let's see. Yes, physics is a load of crap, but not for the reasons. This is always the problem. Some flat earther shows up. That you're bringing up here. In fact, I'm not even exactly sure exactly what you mean with your example. So that's because you're question mark. That's because you're dumb. Okay, I can't fix your stupidity. Again, it's such a simple argument. The experiment, every single time it's done, you shoot a bullet into a ballistic pendulum, and it collects 1% of the kinetic energy. Less than 1%. Every single time. It collects none of the kinetic energy. And almost all of the momentum. And that to you is an indication, boy, kinetic energy must be some kind of weirdo shit, huh? You can't even smash it into that big giant pendulum? Can't get in there? You can't even concede that? Well, yeah, that experiment kind of does point out that we shouldn't call it energy. We should call it useless crap. But you can't use it. Oh, fuck. God, I just can't believe how stupid people are. Again, and they're maliciously, belligerently stupid. You can see it here. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to deal with the facts. They don't want to deal with the evidence. Okay, I'll make 2 points. Oh, I'm so excited. The first is that your pause and comment too often. Well, who cares what you think? User TB8QX8YI8K. Guess what? I don't care what you think. Oh, fuck. You pause his video every other sentence. Well, I think I should probably do it every sentence, right? Every statement probably should be fact-checked. Because like a Trump, he's a big fucking liar. Okay, and complain that he's never getting to the point. I complain that he's completely evasive and didn't respond to a single one of my points regarding physics. Secondly, watch his video prior to commenting on it. No, I can do whatever I want. I'm free. I'm in America, motherfucker. You one of those foreign scumballs telling me what I have to do? No, I can play a video cold, it's called. And, it has its advantages. It's just a fact that if you want to have interaction with people, sometimes you need to be provoked. You need not to know the end of the story because it'll make you think more during the process. It'll make you doubt even. Okay, you need to think about what you want to say. Fuck you in the ass till dead. I've made thousands of videos and a lot of them are just me explaining a physics concept. Now you can just reply to that with some kind of explanation about how I said a single motherfucking thing that's incorrect. Or you can type this mush that I'll ignore entirely. Okay. You're not quick-witted enough. That's kind of funny, because yes, there's a lot of people who do enjoy the little bits of humor I can inject into a video. So you're not really going to convince me of that one. To respond in real time in the way that is interesting. Well, to you. Gee, I'm so concerned. I imagine what the fuck this asshole looks like, what he talks like, how he lives. I mean, you really should have that information. I mean, the internet really should be accountable. I mean, if assholes are going to comment on my appearance or how I do something, then we should see what the fuck they're doing. So fuck off, user. Loser user. All right. You're fundamentally incorrect. Oh, gee. Oh. Says you. Oh, God. He's just amazing. Have a look at tractor pulling, for example. So we know I said professional wrestling. Yes, they're about the same thing, right? People who can be entertained watching tractors pull shit in mud really have to have a really, that's a very boggish, those gray cells are, a lot worse than just gray. All right, anyway, every bit of dirt that is flung up pushes the tractor forward ever so slightly. Well, I think there's a little bit of logic missing in your point there, just because that throwing the stuff up in the air probably isn't too productive. But anyway, as per your logic, this wouldn't work. There's really no argument here. About you want to get into the specifics about how much force you need to apply and how much of the energy is wasted because you're moving essentially fluid in a direction and you're not going to get anything out of it. Okay. I mean, it all comes down to what the NASA guys will tell you. You don't need to push against something to move something. But you do need to move it in the right direction. So if you're pushing it up, then you're probably going down. Okay, you're misunderstanding how heat fits also. Well, you're not going to... Look, this isn't a fucking... You got no reply here. How so, fucktard? I mean, look, if you people can't really engage... seriously in the conversation, that is, you can make your counter argument and explain the physics you're defending, there's no point in this trap. I mean, this is just tripe. You're just sitting here typing a few words and saying, no, I don't believe it. Well, fuck you. Too stupid. Oh, snack faction. Another fucking moron most of the time. I don't have an argument. Great. But is there any mass volume swelling during angular momentum? What the fuck does that mean? God damn it. Like a car tire swells and increases in size. What are you talking about? These are hard objects in a lot of cases. Center of its circumference. Does this happen to photons or electrons? No, it can happen to atoms because atoms have electrons and protons bound by, essentially magnetic or charge forces. So they're elastic, but electrons aren't elastic. Not likely, anyway. But fuck you. Way off the goddamn subject, you stupid cunt. God damn it. Your idea of kinetic energy here is a straw man. So it's ridiculous. Kinetic energy tells you that it takes more energy to make 1 unit of mass to move 1,000 miles per hour than it takes to make 1,000 units of mass move. What do you mean that it takes more energy? It takes 1,000 times more energy by your theory, you fucktard. Okay, a simple spring can show this. Show what? Conversely, kinetic energy tells you that the 1 unit of mass moving 1,000 miles per hour can compress more spring. So where did you prove any of this? That's the whole subject. You think a 5-ton train going 10 miles an hour can beat a 10-ton train going 5 miles an hour in a tug of war. Yet you don't have a single piece of fucking evidence. And every other piece of evidence that does exist, like car crashes, 100 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, no 4 times the energy. No sign of it. So you have no experimental evidence. You're just making these claims. I mean, you're just such a little weasel. Anyway, compress more spring, penetrate more stuff, mine more things. No, there's no evidence that it does any of that. Again, you try to collect it with a ballistic pendulum and you collect nothing. Less than 1%. However, Newton's third law deals with force and momentum, not energy. But your whole claim is that Newton believed in energy, even though he didn't have a word for it. Isn't that strange? He didn't talk about vis visa, so he certainly didn't use, I mean, Leibniz called it something, vis visa. What did Newton call it? Super fun energy thing? Oh no, he didn't have the word energy. Yeah, what did he call it? Oh, fuck you people. You are just such pieces of shit. Okay, if you have a question, I'll be happy to answer them. Well, I'll block you for that. You're too fucking stupid, moron. Alright, looks like a lot of acid. Okay, we can just... Bye! Alright, right. When I was in school, the teacher had a metal box. Okay, we did that. Alright, so we're caught up. So I'll go find the old SciManDan dumbass video, for which he should be embarrassed that he was claiming he debunked something when he debunked nothing. Zero debunking done. Alright, so SciManDan video channel. So it's up to 86,000 views and nothing even close to a rational response from one of these audience members. Anyway, so I just wanted, just for the people who are always ragging about this kind of crap, you will observe he did not provide a link to my video. So just pointing it out. No link to my video. Alright. So, they rag about everything. So, just pointing it out. It's obviously something routinely done now, is to ignore any obligation to properly acknowledge your adversary, or however you want to describe that. I really want to fix this light. It really does suck today. Let's see if I can do that. I probably should pause, right? Yes, I should pause. Okay. Well, it's not that bad. It's this glare thing. I don't like it. Ooh, that is better. Okay, so leave us, do some comments. So he posted a comment doing his, commercial. And so people post to his commercial, which is interesting. I like how you prioritize your sanity over the cause. So I don't even know what that means. A rock could fall slowly from a mountain by being under a glacier and move with it. It's not flowing water, though. I don't know. I mean, obviously it didn't seem that weird a statement to make, that a rock could fall off a mountain quickly or slowly. That doesn't seem all that challenging. But anyway, bad enough they make you read a script. Now you have to post you have to post for them too. So YouTube is almost worse than watching TV at this point. Yes, it is bad. Dan, you didn't debunk him. You said, no, you're wrong, I'm done. That is, at best, a rejection. Debunking would have been explaining why it takes 4x the energy to get 2x the velocity, or how it takes 25 times the fuel to go 5 times as fast. That's the real... I could say 100 times the fuel to go 10 times as fast. I mean, the numbers just get wackier and wackier. Alright, anyway, did you miss the part where he said water can erode? So, of course I know what water is, and I know you could move water, like right now they can cut things with a jet of water because they put so much energy into it. Not very efficient, I have to say. Probably, energy, dollar for dollar for the energy, probably does cost you a bit. But of course, any atom hitting another atom is going to be able to exchange energy. Okay. A debunking that's mostly mocks him, the bad science, instead of showing the real life application of it, or tells the history of how that knowledge was achieved. Yes, you can't get into the history, because guess what? The history is mockably ridiculous. Leibniz just made a claim. At the time Leibniz was alive, nobody bought it. It was resurrected in 17 whatever 36 or something, and everybody fell for it then, for no good reason, because they dented clay with round objects. Again, it's not even difficult physics to figure out how that's not a linear experiment. It's not proportionally even for things of different speed. It's going to give you bent results based on velocity. It's got a velocity bias built into it. It tells how can we know what we know, i.e. the academic process for publications in peer-reviewed journals with all what that entails will always give place to people like that guy who stakes disbelief against belief. I don't even know what that means, but I'm obviously just arguing from a rational perspective that none of this is proven science, and they're claiming it's proven. Okay, when the debunking of bad science is only we are right and you are wrong, there is no win whatsoever. So at least that's, I don't know. Gotta concede that sounds positive for my side. Yay! Alright, not everyone needs for things to be proven that we already know. So that's the one I would love to see. Why do you know it? Why? What convinced you? Some guy said it, right? You don't know it because you saw it. You never saw it take 25 times the fuel to spin something 5 times as fast. Like, we already know stones aren't hearts. We don't need a book for that. Well, I'm just saying, it's as soon as he went to testicles, you knew game over, right? There's just no fucking point, because it's just ridiculous. Come on. After some thinking, I think the reply video is somewhat disingenuous. Draft can be mean at times, but all he wants is a good debate on physics. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Somebody to actually just make a physics video like I do. Like, my video doesn't say, like, in front of every one of my videos, I don't go, Ian Gosling, you're a lying scum, piece of shit, fucker, blah, 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 blah. No, I make a physics argument. And sometimes they're veiled and they are directed at somebody, but all I say is, this is a response to Pirro's claims, or something like that. I mean, can't you do this? Why is this above everyone's pay grade? It's YouTube. It's just amazing that nobody can make a video. No one. All right. I mean, at least on the subject, right? I mean, there's people making videos, but they always cheat. Okay, you've given some many years. So to me, it's strange what you said at the end there. Yes, exactly. When you didn't defeat me at all. IDK, if Draft can read my comments because I think he blocked me. LOL. Well, could be. But he really needs to go to a university. Why do you think this would work? I just don't even understand. Do you think universities decide what the truth is? Do you really? I mean, they're the cabal or something? I mean, they're the ones deciding? Or is it just some sort of pop culture crapola? And, of course, the military-industrial complex, but they'll decide where the money gets spent. I don't know. So if I went to the university, the little pig shit university that physicist Michaels works at, right? It's like some outhouse 30 miles from the real university. And I went there. What do you think would be accomplished? I mean, I could hold up his stupid fucking low friction car and say, did you ever weigh these wheels and the axles? Did you ever weigh them and just see how much of the cart's weight is in metal wheels and axles? Did you ever do that? I mean, did you ever ask yourself the question, why the fuck did they make the car plastic car on top of metal wheels? Wouldn't it make more sense to have metal car on top of plastic wheels? I mean, it's not like the wheels are going to go, rough riding out in the middle of Iowa or something. I mean, they don't have to get out of the mud or anything. Why are the metal wheels on the cart? It's a good question, isn't it? Shouldn't somebody have asked it somewhere along the line and said, why do you have metal wheels? They're just going to store a bunch of energy. You don't want to store energy. You want to see the energy go back and forth. You don't want to store it in wheels. Anyway, go to the university and discuss his ideas with professors and get answers right there. I've already talked to professors. They're closed-minded morons. They're not gonna. They haven't done the experiments. They have no proof. Look what physicist Michael did. He went out and bought the pieces for the Newton's cradle. He's going to make a big one, right? So maybe they're baseball size. He bought them. He built the damn thing. And then he complained that, well, I didn't make it quite strong enough, so it wobbled too much, so... And that's it. That's the end. He never finished doing the experiment. Never did it over, never fixed it, never did anything. I mean, I would argue because he figured out it ain't going to work. All right, the answer's right there. Instead of constant back and forth. So again, there's always going to be back and forth until the evidence is explicit. The evidence has to be right in your motherfucking face solid. That's why everything they do is so objectionable. All you fucking jackasses don't say anything. They haven't redone the Eddington experiment outside the margin of error with a decent telescope ever. And there's 400 times better resolution from space and they haven't even tried it. I mean, get real. This is garbage physics. This is garbage science. The fact that they haven't even crashed cars into each other. They haven't done anything to prove this theory. They haven't even put a thermometer in the ballistic pendulum. They have done nothing. That's the problem. So what's the professor's answer to that going to be? Well, here's my plastic. I have my cart. My cart says so. He claims to have anxiety. Well, getting into my personal business is just bullshit. So you can go fuck yourself until dead, jackass. My anxiety disorder has nothing to do with these videos. Has nothing to do with anything. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I wish I could block you. All right, so I ended that. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? I'm making arguments, jackass. Who can't figure out this is an argument I'm making? You make a counter fucking argument to what I drew on the fucking piece of paper. What I drew on the piece of paper doesn't have an anxiety disorder, jackass. The simulation doesn't have an anxiety disorder, jackass. Fuck, I just can't believe you people can't get anywhere near the goddamn subject. Alright, better to be a wet biscuit than a cookie. Well, he's now a douche sandwich. Yeah, that's the title of this video. He really is. Giant douche, shit sandwich. He really is a shit douche sandwich. Okay. There needs to be a public debate on the direct response where SciManDan provides evidence. All of these subjects should be vigorously debated. Dark matter, entanglement. Come on. And there's no debate. Physicists will not allow there to be a debate. Why? Because just like religious kooks, if they start debating, right, if the Catholics start debating with each other about what God really says, then it's going to look like they're making it up. And physicists are afraid of the same damn thing. If they start debating these subjects, it'll make it look like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay. But that's what kinetic energy implies. Okay, so we already went over that. Are 8-pound bowling balls who's just making my arguments, and nobody will reply to them, of course. So there's no replies to his comment. All right, no, nor did I mention it. Whatever that means, then that's the debunk that apparently you didn't see. Whatever. That was the asshole posted a bunch of crap on my channel. Hi, Dan, you're probably already aware of it, but there's a public thief on FB who is messaging commenters on your FB posts. Oh, I don't know what that is, but fuck that. Mindless marbles. Oh, lying scum. Let's see what he says. Also, his arguments rest on the false idea. So he says it's a false idea, yet there's no evidence it's false at all. And it's exactly, frankly, what Galileo believed. I mean, Galileo knew the force was weight. Galileo was smart enough to say, look, what do I do here? I put something on a scale and I turn the scale sideways. What's going to happen? The same force is in the spring. I've locked the spring, right? I've locked it. The same force is in the spring. I'm going to see it as motion. It's momentum. You're just such a dumb piece of scum shit. This is nonsensical. No, nonsensicate. IDK. Where to start? Well, you can't start. You can't finish. You can't say anything decent or rational. It's like saying, oh, I'm not going to bother with this. Okay, I have already engaged and refuted various arguments. Liar, liar, liar. Ooh, disgusting. I'm more than willing to engage with various arguments. Where? I don't see you engage in any argument whatsoever. You're a slandering, lying, stupid, ignorant pig. Period. Okay. Both can't be the same definition of energy. They aren't. So again, it's just ridiculous to have a energy duality. Momentum moves spaceships. Kinetic energy... Oh, that's right. It doesn't move anything. Momentum moves ballistic pendulums. Momentum moves spaceships. Momentum moves wrecking balls. Kinetic energy moves... nothing! Alright. Let's see. Basin responds to that jackass. I have engaged with and wasted my time with you. Countless subjects, exactly. So there's no point. Alright, so that's the end of that. I'm not even going to bother. Mindless is just such an asshole, lying piece of scum. Let's see. So Howard needs debunking as often as possible. So again, they think it's really a threat. Okay, flat Earth and creation science is a huge threat because a huge percentage of the scientifically literate people are being convinced by these arguments. I mean, a huge percentage of high school graduates are being convinced. What's the standard we're going to have? I mean, they probably have to graduate from college now because everybody is getting so fucking dumb as the idiocracy takes over. Let's see. Confidently wrong, as it turns out, is still wrong. Let's see. Well, this is... I don't want to talk about Testicle Henry. Is this really worth anyone's time to sit there and debunk this guy who thinks soft organs can be fossilized? That was me. Well, it's 2024 and we're still debating flat versus globe Earth. You are. Nobody rational finds this an interesting subject. No one rational thinks these people honestly believe there's a flat Earth. Oh, God. I mean, how can you people be this stupid? You really think they believe it? I mean, in all the ways that it's just debunked. I mean, you can, the satellite images, all this stuff. But I mean, just visually, if you have any kind of like a field or an ocean or a pond or a lake, even a small lake proves the point because you can see that the tall things are the only thing you can see. You can't see the things that are lower. I mean, fuck. Nothing wrong with wet biscuit as long as you drink responsibly. So there were 67 replies to that pile of nothing. God, these are such interesting people. Clearly the Dunning-Kruger example. As a physicist, that's a lie. Okay, this guy is no way a fucking physicist. So he's got the Calvin as his icon. And his video is a cat and some girl, Emma Watson. Yeah, I don't think you're a physicist. He's got one video? Where is it? Which one is... Oh, that's his cat. Yes. Amazing. What a pile of turd. Anyway, I can assure the viewers that formula for kinetic energy and its relationship to gravitational potential energy is solidly understood by everyone who takes the time to do a few experiments. Like what? Do it. Drop 4 pounds 1 foot and 1 pound 4 feet and prove the lever is lying. Prove that the law of the lever is bullshit. Okay. With rising and falling objects in gravity fields. So again, it's just so ridiculous. You have zero evidence and you're just going to keep making the assertion. And again, the lever proves it can't work. Okay. And the person who usually gets credit for recognizing the key facts about kinetic energy is so he's using Emily de Châtelet with the denting clay experiment. He's not a physicist. I mean, a physicist should be pretty That's not a very good idea. Denting clay with round objects. No, 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 no. That's not how you measure energy. She figured this out dropping cannonballs from various heights into mud. So this didn't happen, but whatever. There's no point. Denting mud. Yeah, she dented mud. Oh, amazing. Let's see if there's any replies pointing out that Deschardelet was a nut job. I learn something new every day. That's also a little issue with equating force and energy. So there's no evidence I read during my research where Deschardelet dropped cannonballs into mud. So I saw no reference to that in her own writings or in anyone else's. All right. I must inform you, Dunning-Kruger has been rebranded. Okay, who cares? Oh dear, more people don't understand Dunning-Kruger. So this is just such a waste of time. So they're really not going to point out that Deschardelet's experiments were really stupid. She did another experiment where she dropped things into a pile of sand and counted how far a piece of sand went. Right? So any idiot could know that, of course, things with higher velocity are going to be able to give this individual pieces of sand more velocity. And obviously at low velocities, they're not going to be able to give it a high velocity. Something moving a low velocity can't give it a high velocity. Just like a 16-pound bowling ball can't make the pin bounce off of it with the same speed that the 8-pound ball going 16 miles an hour would do. But in the end, it's all the same amount of energy. Yeah, this is so irritating to me. People latch on to terms as they are a catch-all. That's a given. But I'll try to apply Dunning-Kruger every imbecile. Whatever. These people are just so ridiculously juvenile. I live in America. After the last few years, I'm convinced there's absolutely nothing stupid enough for half this country to believe. It's true. They're all idiots. I'm just saying, obviously the smart people are idiots and the dumb people are double idiots. It's dumber and dumber, or dumber, dumber, and dumber, dumber, dumber. So let's not worth anyone's time to respond to the rock guy, but he responds to your entire response and wastes time on anti-science nonsense. So it's anti-science to argue models that actually explain results. That's not science. Okay. It's been a phenomenon for years. It still baffles me. People arguing by saying this is stupid, nobody cares. If you don't care, why are you publishing a video about it? I didn't publish a video about it. Anyway, and lots of these guys make entire channels devoted to complaining about things they allegedly don't care about. So I think I've made 5 or 6 SciManDan videos altogether. And so it's like less than one a year. I believe the only reason he reacted to SciMan's video is to get you to make a video about him, hopefully getting his viewer count up. Obviously, I made the video with the intent, okay, of provoking a discussion about something real. And it's probably right in my video where I point out, could we talk about something real, some real science subject, not this imbecilic nonsense where you just beat up on some psychopath? But no, can't do that. Let's see what it says. 100%. Winner, SciMan, in science, facts, even insults. I mean, really, wet biscuit. What does that even mean? I don't know. I didn't invent the idea that you call your cookies biscuit. And obviously, I would think a wet cookie would kind of suck. Anyway, well, Jesus, I don't know. You have to explain how a wet cookie isn't a great thing. I should give you one for your birthday. I'll give you a big soggy cookie. Oh, I mean, what fucking morons. I think you hit the nail right on the head, like when MGK came at memory. I don't know. It's just let's see. Water is not abrasive. Ever heard of a water jet? Obviously I was pointing out how water by itself is not abrasive. Okay, it can't do anything. Sitting in a bog, I used it as the example. water is not going to do anything. Now, yes, if you want to nuclearize the water, you want to give it a, you want to start turning it into not even water, wet water anymore. You want to turn it into water vapor, and turn it into steam. Then it can do lots of things. The guy is criticizing our SciMan for spending time refuting dumb idea. No, it's not a dumb idea. It's a sick idea. It's a sickness. The man is sick, obviously. He's delusional. Or he's just faking. Alright. I mean, the testicle thing. Come on, do you think he's not just pulling your chain, retard? Anyway, Kelly Ann Conway. I don't know what that has to do with anything. A lot of white sands come from parrotfish crap. So what does that have to do with water doing it? Parrotfish have this real hard beak. yeah. Obviously doesn't have anything to do with anything. Yes, they gnaw at the coral. Yes, that's what they do, and they break pieces off constantly, and they just eat it all and shit a lot of sand. Oh, amazing. What does that have to do with the argument? Oh, that's right, nothing. All right, so there's just nothing here. All right, so we'll just move on, see what happens. But you did see there was a few comments anyway saying, hey, you could have actually responded to the damn video, especially the stuff at the end. And you didn't, you pussy, you weasel, you chicken shit. Because they can't make an argument. So I'm just saying, for the future, just talking to the future, go find SciManDan Dan's grave and piss on it. Because clearly he just evaded it. He's scared to death. He has no answer to what I said. That's why he cut the video off, because I was just making the gravity argument that, you go through gravity really quick, and guess what? You're not bent at all. And you go through slower and slower, and you're bent more and more. Perfect indication that it's a time-dependent force. So, fuck you people. Fuck you. Yes, you all suck. Profoundly disappointing that you can't get anyone to get on the subject, and you can't, like I said, for all these people to say they don't want to even see the fight, they don't want to see the debate, they don't want to see an argument, they just want whoever to tell them what the truth is. So whether it's Alex Jones or what the hell's their names? That stupid guy, Sean Carroll, or that annoying motherfucker, what's his name? Always talks with his hands. Oh, I hate him. I gotta play a couple of his videos because he's so full of shit. I can just, Mickey Kaku. You don't want anybody to be challenged. You don't want any of the subjects to be talked about. You just want to be believers. And you're saying you're not religious, shitheads? Of course you are. You're afraid to have your religion challenged. You're afraid, like a little Muslim, to have the facts exposed. Fucking religious kooks.